Hey, coming up on this episode of SwingNation, the Netflix of dance videos, Dax and Sarah have a challenge for dancers, and Kevin St. Laurent joins us. That's his name, right? St. Laurent. All right, SwingNation episode 14 starts now.
Hit that jive, close the door, get the carpet off the floor, Swing Nation.
People grooving together.
Truck on down, pimp your stroll, put some jelly on that roll, Swing Nation.
People grooving together.
Welcome to the very professional Swing Nation talk show, the only live streaming internet talk show about Lindy Hop in the universe, in the known universe.
Really?
Yes. That's
Go
correct.
us.
Go us. I am here, one of your co-hosts, Rick-O-Matic.
I'm Zucker Punch.
And Spuds right here. Thank you for joining us on, what's the date?
The 11th.
The 11th. Thank you, Zucker Punch. Show number 14, but you already said that.
That's correct.
Well, we got a lot of stuff to get to, so
Yeah, let's do it. You want to run them through the quick bits?
Sure. So we have a couple of quick little news items that we wanted to get on your calendar. So first of all, the wonderful folks at the Frankie Manning Foundation wanted us to know that they are again offering these amazing ambassador scholarships to go to Harangue. So you have until March 15th, so just a couple of days from now, to get in your application to these people if you want to be considered for the full ride scholarship to attend Harangue. The criteria, I think, are very similar to last year. They are looking for dancers who are from scenes, Lindy Hop scenes, I guess, that are underrepresented or that haven't had a chance to go to international events, and they're looking for African Americans. So if you fit either of those demographics, go ahead and go to Frankie Manning Foundation.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? FrankieManningFoundation.org. Or go to Yehudi for all the details about how to apply. You have to send in a video, at least one video of yourself dancing, 2 to 3 videos to be considered. But it's a really great opportunity to be exposed to this amazing international audience of dancers. So, hey, Nicole, you should do the second one.
Yeah. My girl, Dog Possum, has this awesome blog that you all should be reading. She's wicked cool, but in March in particular, even though the month is half over, and we're just telling you this now, she's profiling women in swing. So there's like Norma and Jean Veloz, Ginger Rogers, Dorothy Miller. She's got a ton of stuff up already from the first couple of weeks of this month. You should just like go back to the beginning of the month and read from there, but it's still going on, so check it out. I mean, she's got awesome other posts as well, including one about solo jazz that she also did recently.
Oh, yeah.
But, she just got awesome content, but I especially love the fact that she's profiling women in swing.
She's flying, too.
You go, girl!
But she's got to get 31 women in swing.
Oh, my God.
Pretty
Goodness
challenging.
knows. That's really difficult to find 31 women.
No, it's really awesome that she's doing this, and the ones she's already written up are really, really great. So I'm curious to see who all the other ones that she gets to pick from, since there are so many. So, let's go to our first feature. Spuds, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what's the deal with this website, since I'd never heard about it before.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, so we're talking about, there's a website called Danceflix.com. Danceflix.com, what they do is it's sort of like Netflix, right? Danceflix.
Old Netflix.
And they, old Netflix. And they break things upstairs. No. They
do
rent...
weightlifting poorly upstairs.
The Cafe Sophie, they clean up whenever we do the show. Danceflix.com rents DVDs by instructors, dance instructors, so dance instructional videos. They rent those out. And they got into a little bit of a, let's just say a couple of instructors, I could say Joel Plies, who teaches in San Diego. Is that right? Yeah. He's an international instructor. He's all over the place. He does the Swing Camp Oz and stuff like that. Got a little perturbed that his videos were on Danceflix for rental without him knowing it. And started a kind of like a Facebook thread, and he kind of cited a lot of other instructors who may or may not have known that their stuff was available for rental on Danceflix.com. It started a pretty interesting back and forth in the community. I think we can post a show notes or something like that.
We'll post a link to the thread in Facebook.
Yeah, link to the thread. Well, we wanted to know what the deal is with that. So we actually did. We reached out to Danceflix to find out, what's their take on renting instructor videos. Now,
can you say a little bit what people's beef is with instructors having their videos made available on the site?
Right. We tried to get in touch with Joel. Actually, we did get in touch with Joel because he's the one who started the thread, and but he was crazy busy today, and he really wanted to give us some feedback on it. But the gist is he wanted to be notified first off that his videos are being rented. I don't think he knew, and maybe other instructors possibly know, that once your DVD's out there, it can be rented. He wanted to know, hey, especially with the size of this community, it'd be great if you told us that you were doing this, and it'd be great if we got compensated for this also. So we got a statement from Danceflix. So we reached out and we said, hey guys, we invited them to be on actually, but due to time constraints and all this other stuff, we got a audio. It's a video show, but we got an audio reply from them, and actually let's play that.
Dear SwingNation, thank you for having us on your show. We are truly honored. Danceflix is a new and innovative site that allows members to rent dance DVDs online, just like any other online video rental site, similar to the traditional Netflix DVDs by mail business model. Now, we don't stream videos online or offer videos for download at this time, but that's definitely where we envision the site heading in the future. We understand that some dance instructors whose DVDs are featured on our site are upset that permission was not requested in advance. But frankly, it wasn't requested simply because it wasn't required. The first sale doctrine of U.S. copyright law allows owners of lawfully owned original DVDs the absolute right to resell, lend, or rent them out, even over the strong objection of the copyright owner. Some of the aforementioned instructors argue that it's not right and that they should be continually compensated in addition to the original purchase price of their DVDs. We politely disagree. We've spent many thousands of dollars purchasing DVDs from dance instructors and feel that they have already been well compensated. Anyone who has used Netflix understands that the incidence of lost or damaged discs is very high, and they get preferential treatment from the post office, and we don't. To think that we're making obscene profits from renting DVDs is simply not realistic. Postage is very expensive, and operating the site and processing the DVDs is quite labor-intensive. For dance instructors, many would agree that having their DVDs on our site is great exposure. Dancers from all styles can learn about these instructors they may never have known about before. We feel this type of promotion is invaluable. In addition, we carry many titles by request from dance instructors who understand the value of promotion, and they're quite happy with what we do. We feel it's ultimately a win-win situation, and a lot of our customers are dance instructors. To those unhappy with us, as a gesture of goodwill, we can even offer backlinks to their sites for direct purchase of their DVDs, including other information. All they need to do is ask. Nevertheless, we've offered the dance instructors an opportunity to have their DVDs removed from our site. They simply need to contact us for the details. Thank you.
All right. So there you go. That's Danceflix.com's response. Thank you for Danceflix for responding to us and giving us that thing. What do you guys think?
I think that our laws in this country are so convoluted that it's really difficult for anyone to really have a grasp on the stuff unless they've studied it extensively. So, for example, like if I were an instructor and I've been like, oh, hey, someone's been making money off my DVDs and not giving me a cut, from all that we learned about the music industry over the past like decade since Napster, and now we have like Pandora and Spotify and everything, it's understood that the artist gets a cut of whatever profits are made from the like one-time use of their song on like radio or Pandora, Spotify, any of these things. So if I were an instructor, I would assume that that's kind of the law with video too, but apparently it's an entirely different kettle of chips, and no one has to tell them. Right. Which, I mean, I think the law is wrong. That I don't understand why video would be any different than audio in that way. Like why you would have to pay a music artist for use of their song on the radio, but you don't have to pay an instructor for use of their DVD when you're renting it out.
So let me speak on their behalf. So I think their argument is, according to the letter of the law, they can do whatever the hell they want. Essentially, if they bought the DVD, they can rent it to their heart's delight. They could buy 25 copies, and they could buy every single DVD actually put out by all these instructors and make them all available. And the guys actually said that, well, we actually don't have every single DVD from all instructors. We only offer a selection, and we encourage you to go to that person directly to get the rest of their DVDs, which is...
He said he's willing to make that change. He's willing to, in the future, include a link to their other things.
Which is still kind of a cool thing because he actually doesn't have to do that.
I know he doesn't have to do it, and I'm not saying that he's done anything illegal. I'm just saying I don't think the law is right.
Well,
and so I think we're all on the same page that he's perfectly within his rights to do the things that he's done, and he's not like an evil person. But I'm saying that I don't think that the system as it is fair. I just think that there are definitely sketchier things that he could do that he's not doing. So at least he needs to get props for that he actually is providing link backs to the original creators' websites and encourage people to go and purchase products from them. He did that after getting flack about it, though. Still, he did it. He didn't have to do it. Yeah. I don't think we give people credit for being decent people. I mean, who was the comedian who's like, some comedian did some sort of skit like Chris Rock. All right, Chris Rock about like, I pay my rent. Right. You're supposed to pay your rent. That's the one. I take care of my kids. You're supposed to take care of your kids. But exactly. Let's put this to the audience. What do you think? What do you guys think? 201-984 show. If you guys want to, or talk at uhity.com. Either one. Record a video. Record a video, or rent our show. Anyway, we will never charge for SwingNation. We know we've made it big when. Yeah, right? People will be pirating our show. They'll be like, illegally downloading I got first season right here. Season 1. Scalping tickets. Season 1. We're gonna take a quick zip over because we have a special guest here. We do. We do? Yes. Wait a minute. We have a special Who's getting guest. The boot? Bye-bye. Who's getting voted off the island? Wait a minute. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Hello, and we have a special guest, which we're really excited about. Ladies and gentlemen, me. Oh, it's no. Sucker Punch. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Kevin St. Laurent. Laurent, right here. Coach up in the Laurent, that's right. I just want to do a little shout out because at Harangue, I'm going to be doing conference show, and we're going to be seeing Coach Laurent. I'm going to have a whistle and a track outfit on. So get your partner and come out for some hardcore training. I wish I was going to be there to see that. Yeah, I'm going to be whistling. I'm going to be making people do push-ups. If you're late to class, you're running laps, all sorts of things. He's not kidding. You might not want to tell them this in advance. Oh, sorry, yeah. Anyway, Coach Laurent, I'm going to be rocking it with my partner, Joe, at Harangue this year, week 5. That's going to be hilarious. Plug for Harangue. How are you doing otherwise, Joe? Joe. Oh, I get that all the time. I'm thinking of Joe. I'm just thinking of whenever. Do you get that a lot? We asked if Joe could come on the program, but she was unavailable, so we'll take it. Actually, you were my first. You were my first. Oh, I was? Yes. Okay. Oh, I was Nicole's first. Okay, first choice, guys. First choice for the show. It's a lot other innuendo during the live show too. All right, someone just asked about how do I feel about DVDs being online for rent, because that relates to the last thing. And okay. I'll just say I was on those were mine for sale. I just felt slightly disrespected that someone in the, I guess,
Well, I guess I'm not even sure if Danceflix is in the community. Apparently it's been going on for 2 or 3 years, and I never even heard of it. So don't really bother it. It doesn't bother me, really. Libraries rent things, and then people go to the library. And I do the same thing. I'm just as, if you want to call it guilt or whatnot. So I produced them, he bought them, and now he's using them in the legal ways that he can. So I just feel honored, if anything, that he's willing, or actually wants to rent my stuff out, or people would want to watch that. So spread the dance love as much as possible.
You're making it big.
Making it big.
One of these days.
Well, no, because we could talk to no end about the ramifications of Napster and things like that, and how really you just have to adapt to modern technology.
Yeah.
Musicians have had to do that for really in the last 100 years. The technology keeps changing, and musicians have to keep adapting. So as a dance instructor and performer, I have to keep adapting and find ways to make myself relevant or ways to make a living. And I feel like if I can't make a living off of it, then it's not worthwhile. Don't do it. Do something else. Like adapt. If robots are going to take your job, then become a robot programmer.
The robots are going to take over.
No, I mean, if they are, then become a programmer of robots. Like, you just got to deal with it.
I, for one, embrace our robot overlords.
The distant future. The distant future. Speaking of musicians...
All our swing outs do belong to us.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of musicians, though, what are we going to talk about outside
Live
of
music.
that? Live music.
So there was a
hate
discussion... Yeah, really.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Laura Key started a discussion on Facebook where she said, I often hear people complain about the cost of the door charge on nights that have live music, and it makes me sad. Jazz music inspired and still inspires jazz dance, so let's give back a little. So that's the context for...
That's the context.
You've heard
when I
bad-
go to dances, I've heard terrible DJs, and I've heard amazing DJs. I've heard terrible live music, and I've heard amazing live music. It's, by definition, the term live music is not fair. Isn't more worthwhile by itself.
Yeah, I agree
Now
with
that
that.
I'm repeating myself, I don't sound very eloquent.
Live music is not inherently, I don't think, better than DJ music, although I would love to support musicians out there who are contributing to our scene in such a fantastic way, and I do think that there are things that are definitely worth paying for. I don't think that it's like necessarily, if there's an option to have live music,
It's always the right choice.
Right.
Yeah, fundamentally, I support quality, and I will back quality up with my pocketbook.
Yeah.
So if it's a quality DJ, I'm in. If it's a quality live band, I'm in.
That said, I also have like a cap on how much I'm willing to expend for like a transient experience, like 2 hours of DJ music, and similarly for like event weekends of dancing, where if it's like $500 for 2 days of dancing, unless it's a one of a kind thing, like the Frankie weekend, which is celebrating his 95th, that's never going to happen again. Mm-hmm. Then there's just a cost at which it's not worth it to me.
Yeah,
and so if there's even if it's a good band and it's exorbitantly expensive, and of course that's all relative, and we should redefine probably what expensive is to us as Lindy Hoppers, because we have been kind of spoiled in that our instructors aren't paid as well as a lot of ballroom instructors are. Our bands aren't paid as much as, let's say, the Goo Goo Dolls.
Goo Goo Dolls.
I don't know why I'm on about the Goo Goo Dolls
That's
tonight.
all good.
I was wearing my Goo Goo Dolls shirt yesterday. I think that's why. But there's a cost at which it's not worth it to me, even if it is really good music, just because I have a limited amount of money.
I think that's true for most people's experiences. How much money you're willing to pay for anything. I think what we have to remember is anytime people are complaining about people not getting paid, it all comes back to the price of the ticket for whatever event you're at. Mm-hmm. That's a pool of money, and how is that pool of money going to get distributed? So when people say they want live music and they want more teachers and they want the teachers to be paid more and the bands to be paid more and they want a better venue, but then they say they won't pay over a certain amount of money. There's one point you're just getting what you pay for.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where else to go with that.
Well, maybe the thing happens on live music nights. I think what happens is a venue is running a weekly activity, and it costs so much. And then suddenly someone comes and they want that same activity and that same experience that they've gotten used to, And suddenly there's live music, and they haven't necessarily noticed that the band was changed. And they walk up to the door, and what was they were expecting, this was expectation management, was they were expecting maybe to pay $8 that night, and suddenly it's $15. And so they're like, wait a second, I don't need a live band on my Wednesday night, Thursday night, or whatever for my entertainment this evening. That doesn't actually add value to their lives. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. Unless you have a venue that just always charges the same amount, and sometimes it's live and sometimes it's DJ'd. Like, why aren't the DJs getting paid more necessarily? Right? Everyone's trying to make things as cheap as possible. So, yeah, I think that's really just expectation management.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't believe that. Well, and I guess if you're a student, it's a different story. But like the difference between $8 and $15 for live music, if it's like a good band, I can't even imagine that sort of like quality for that price. Since I'm living in San Francisco now.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a barrier.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I went to high school when I was in college. We had 50 cents for folk dancing on Fridays.
Wow.
And then I remember when I was
that was
there.
back in the 30s, right?
It was, yeah. I was right next to the Savoy, actually. We met to folk dance. It was in the basement of the Savoy. No, but then we raised the price while I was there in the early 90s and said, we're going to go to $2.
Wow. That's,
Oh my god.
well, that's huge.
And then we got people not paying. They got sneaking in. So we
Right,
had,
at
yeah.
$2.
So then we had to get a door person. And yeah.
And then your costs
Go up.
increase.
Yeah, exactly, because the door person got in for free now because they volunteered to run the door. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Price points.
Well, supporting live music is an issue, and if you want to talk more about it, I guess we'll post the thread that Laura started. Miss Laura Keat, the amazing Miss Laura Keat.
Go Laura!
Go Laura! Go Laura!
Go, Laura, go, Laura, go.
Do we want to keep Kevin for a moment, or do we want to kick him out?
Do
Do you want to do that?
Challenge me. That's what I really want.
What are we talking about?
Challenge me to something.
we have the Rhythm Juice games.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
We're
Doing it live.
So our friends that we always talk about, we seem to get them on the show a lot. Well, at least we talk about them. Dax and Sarah.
That's true. They are kind of like in this show like a lot.
You know why? Because they keep doing shit.
That's a little out of the box.
That's a little out of the box. This refers to what you mentioned, Kevin, about just growing with technology and whatever's going on.
Adapt.
Right? Adapt. Rhythm Juice Games 2013. They started something called the Rhythm Juice Games. The 2013 Rhythm Juice Games are about to begin. Work on your swing dancing, have fun, and compete for $500 scholarship on Rhythm Juice and all the glory. Basically, should we have them talk about it a little bit? Show a little bit of their blurb. So here's Dax (parentheses) and Sarah for a little bit of what they would like to call the Rhythm Juice Games.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dax Hock.
My name is Sarah Breck.
And we would like to talk to you about the 2013 Rhythm Juice Games. So we're really excited about this. Rhythm Juice has come up with this concept to run what's called the games, and it's literally going to be, this first round is going to just be a fully online competition where we are going to be presenting, where Sarah and I are going to be running it this round, and we are going to be presenting challenges for you to submit videos upon, and this is going to give you an opportunity to have a lot of fun with your friends or your partner, work on your dancing, and do some fun stuff like that. So,
all right. So if you go on to their website, I'm assuming it's just daxandsarah.com, you can see more.
Rhythmjuice.com.
Rhythm Juice. Thank you. You can see more about the 2013 Rhythm Juice Games. Weigh in, Swing Nationers.
Well, so I was kind of interested to hear Kevin's take on this because I am all about gamifying everything in my life. I think games are awesome, but for some reason, maybe like call me stodgy, call me old-fashioned, but I just like this didn't really do it for me. And I think maybe part of it was because their like first prize is like, well, first they're saying like this is for all levels and like no one should think that they're too advanced to compete in this. But their first prize is classes from them, and they're I mean, all their prizes are classes from them. And, I understand if they're, like, at a place where that's really all that they have, or they don't, like, have a relationship with other people that they could say, like, hey, can you give me a pass to this event, or something like that. But it just seems like you're saying that some of the most advanced dancers in the world should compete in this, and the most that you have to offer them is a private lesson. And not that that's not valuable, but maybe like for some of the most talented dancers that we have, it's not really necessary.
Maybe I misheard it. I thought it was you don't have to be the most advanced dancer to compete.
Well, that is one of the things that they say, that it's not going to be like the most well-known dancer that necessarily wins. But one of the things that they do say is that no one should feel like they're too advanced for this. And I do think that that is a risk, that people are going to be like, oh, this is one of those like open type competitions. I'm too good for that. I'm advanced or whatever. But their incentives don't really strike me as being appropriate for that.
Well, I think anytime you have an incentives, you're going to attract the people where that actually is an incentive.
Right.
And what you're saying is that for you personally, that's not an incentive. And that makes sense. So I think for a lot of people, that wouldn't be an incentive. But for some people, obviously, it could be. This obviously, from what I can see, it's the first time they've done it. This is the first time I've heard of it. At a base level, like playing games and doing competitions, that sounds amazing. I mean, I've been competing my whole career. The main reason I compete is just to improve myself as a dancer. That's how I've always used it for myself. Prizes for me in competing are a bonus. It's like, oh, sweet. I've never actually gone into a competition because this had a better prize over that one. It was mostly like, oh, that's convenient on my schedule. I'm going to be there anyway, and I'm working with someone. And man, I feel like throwing down. And I kind of want to give myself an arbitrary deadline. And these events provide that. So the gamifying of it is kind of neat for people around the world, especially people in an isolated scene that can't travel to a big event, for the opportunity for them to like put their video up and it's kind of like a personal challenge with their friends to, you have a deadline. Oh, we got to get the video, we got to meet, we got to do something. This is the challenge. Game on. I think if you use it on a positive scale, it can be fun. And I would hope, I could see, obviously, I think based on the incentive, down the road, if this does well, this is obviously for their site Rhythm Juice, is to promote that. So if things go well with that, why not get event passes or just do a flat-out cash prize? There's no caveat on that. And then you might actually attract a higher level of dancers. But, I mean, if it's all about the site, then you're not actually looking for those dancers who don't take lessons. You're actually looking for the people specifically wanting an online educational experience.
Well, then I kind of wonder if their marketing and their goals are not necessarily aligned then.
How so?
Well, because in the video they do say, like, this is for, like, no one is too advanced for this. Like, we want everyone to be in on this, but it doesn't seem like
the incentives are in line with that, the marketing.
And I also don't, like, go into competition being like, oh, I'm going to do this competition because I want this prize, although sometimes it does make me try harder.
Yeah, it helps. Incentives can help, for sure.
I don't know, the gamifying, like, competition, and maybe it's because I hate competing and I do it because I'm scared of it, and I'm going to do it until I'm stop being scared of it. So maybe it's because I inherently just, like, want to puke when I have to compete. That this doesn't really do it for me.
Well, that's what's actually kind of cool. I love that they have it's gotten this response out of you. And I think that's
their job.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of neat, that they're doing something that makes you go, you get nervous. And so you can even, some people get so nervous they just shut down, they don't want to do it. And some people get so nervous, and like you, for some of your competitions, you realize, I want to do this until I'm not nervous. I want to figure out how can I push through that fear I have of succeeding or performing in front of other people.
Well, if you want to do it, go to rhythmjuice.com and sign up. Dax and Sarah will be happy to have you as part of their Do It crew.
Registration closes on March 30th. It's a $20 entrance fee per person, and you have to come in with your partner.
I heard if you go on Facebook page, you can get some discounts on even the entrance fee, I think.
That might be over at this point. I'm not sure.
Ooh,
I think it was timely.
Oh, you have to be timely about that.
You got to be quick. Speaking of timely, we're running out of time, but thank you so much. I'm the time Nazi.
Your time's out.
Yeah, I'm the time Nazi. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thanks, guys. SwingNation, love you guys.
Stay on, and we're going to smooth exit.
All right, sorry.
But thank you. Where are you going to be next?
I'm going to be at the Southwest Lone Star Fest Lindy thing in Texas.
Lindy Star, right?
Lindy Star. Who wants to be a
Lone
Lindy
Fest?
Star? Lindy Star, yeah. Isn't that like Star Search from the 80s?
It is, with Ed McMahon.
Yeah, I think so. Ed McMahon's going to be there. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, they're going to dig him up.
Yeah, he's going to be emceeing. I think he's taking over Peter's job.
Thanks, Kevin.
That was it?
Yeah.
That was my transition.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm out.
Thank
Ciao.
you so much once again, Kevin, for coming and joining us. And we have Rick-O-Matic back here.
Hey!
And he's going to close the show.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of Swing Nation. Many, many people to thank for making this possible. Of course, our lovely and talented camera person behind the boards, Jim Thorpe. And our wonderful host here at Cafe Sophie, serving the finest Verve coffee and Silk Road teas and tasty pastries. Go to cafesophiesf.com for all of your caffeinated and non-caffeinated needs. Wow. That is not going to help, guys. Woo. Thank you to Casey McGill for our fantastic theme music, Paul Marino for our amazing video open, and debuting on this show, our ridiculously cool backdrop created by concept and designed by Jeremy Harris Designs. Go to jeremyharrisdesigns.com to find out how we can do some designing for you. So great work, Jeremy.
Yeah, awesome job.
It actually feels like we're on a set.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So if you have other things that you would love us to show on the show or talk about on the show or feature on the show or news or whatever, we want to know about it. Send us an email at news@yehudi.com. You can Facebook us. Just do a search for Yehudi. We are on the Twitters, at Yehudi, at Spuds, at Sucker Punch, and at Rick-O-Matic. Or just pick up that telephone, 201-984-SHOW, 201-984-7469. And until then, we will see you soon.
I think that was wrong.
What?
That was fine. Don't look at the lower things. Yeah. Finish up.
Damn it, I could never do it right. I was doing so good. Anyway, I'm Rick-O-Matic.
I'm Sucker Punch.
And Spud's right here.
Bye. Thanks, Kevin.
All around the planet, gates are in the groove. Don't have to understand it, you just have to move. Truck on down